Hi, everybody. This is Marilyn. Do we have any audio? Yes, no, maybe. Yes, we do. Okay, great. Thank you. This is Marilyn, and it is the noontime edition of Welcome to My World. This is the 23rd of December, which is a Wednesday, and we have had crude oil inventory report this morning. I'm kind of looking here, and the indices have all been trending up a little bit. It looks like TF was probably a little bit stronger trend than the rest of them. The dollar has come up quite a bit. We'll see if it backs off now because it's trended up all morning. But I notice bonds after making they've been on a downtrend for the last 2 or 3 sessions. Looks like there might be some profit taking on those shorts coming in right now. We had Canadian economic news that came out at about the same time as some U.S. numbers first thing this morning, and it did affect the Canadian dollar quite a bit. The Canadian dollar finally decided it was kind of happy about the whole thing. So that's probably a good news for the Canadians. We've got Brent is recovering. It's still trading just, if anything, a hair below, maybe 20 cents, 30 cents below West Texas, which is very, very unusual. We haven't seen this for quite some time. Anyway, it gapped up this morning at the open, and at least it's trying to come up out of where it spent yesterday and the day before being severely beaten over the head. The VIX is dropping, which is noteworthy. This is it's trading 1583, 84 right now. When the VIX comes down like this, remember it was up over 20. I think it was close to 25. Maybe it hit 25 for a couple of 3 minutes last week. And we had a big sell-off in these indices. But as the VIX is dropping, that's also another indication that these indices will continue their so-called Santa Claus rally, if indeed that's what this is. We've had some, I found NQ was a little, it was up and down, but you could certainly, if you were scalping, NQ would give you some pretty good scalps, at least off the C's this morning. And one thing I have been, I've got a chart of YM. I don't know if anybody else trades YM in here. And I noticed something this morning because I put this trendar on my YM, and I'll show you. So if anybody else sees anything like this, maybe you can give us all a heads up in here. But this is YM, and this morning I was watching this, and this was about 9:30, about the open, to see what it was going to do, and I noticed that this trendar flip was down yellow, up yellow, down yellow, up yellow, down yellow. And look at what the price on the diagnostic bars was doing. This is just, as far as I'm concerned, this is untradeable. Some people can trade this. I'm not one of them. I don't like that. It makes me crazy. But this was a really good example here of using this trendar also for when to stay out. And it was very, very plain. And look at what happened with the volume. Very low volume. It was below expectation. So if anybody else has the trend are on their C's chart and you see something like that, let us know, because I thought that was a real easy way. You know, we get so focused on where are the entries and when to take the trades. We kind of lose sight of gathering the information and having it be very, very evident of when not to, because that's equally important. Once you learn where the entries are and you learn how to manage your trade, then the next project is, okay, you got that. When do you stay out? And that to me was a very clear thing. Yes, Chris, that is not part of the rules. I'm just experimenting. All of these apex indicators are so incredibly accurate, and it's a matter of using them. If you are new and you're going to trade that iZone strategy with the new trendar, absolutely follow those rules. One of the Jeffs very kindly put the link in, and it's, if you scroll up, it was, I don't know, around 9ish this morning, I think. And I grabbed that and then bookmarked it so I can refer to it until I kind of get the hang of that. But this was just something that really popped out at me this morning. Yesterday we had some conversation about using these range channels, and would you take a trade at the top of the range channel? If you're referring to long, no, I wouldn't. I would be looking to either scalp it going down off the 6 tick, or just wait until I got another entry that indicated it was going to break through here. Because not only did it hit the top of that range channel and it rejected right there, but right above that was the 1 deviation level. So that's pretty good street there for the bus driver to get through the high of the day and a deviation level on the same push, especially when there had been a run of a good half deviation from down here at the half deviation level up to just below the 1. So that was a pretty good move. And right here, this obviously came, the big one right here, came from the inventory report. The 12 tick this morning, I thought behaved very well. It put up very nice ease, gave you the entries, which if you coordinate that with your iZone, can also work real well. And I think we pointed out this morning, this was another one just like the one we had, where the yellow trend flipped to the green right here. The trend catcher put in a trend catcher entry right here, and that was a really nice trade right there off this trend catcher entry too. At 10:30, you're playing with fire unless you have traded crude oil for quite a while, because you don't know what they're going to do. And sometimes it goes really, really fast. There's not that much volume. If you look at the volume, we're used to seeing sometimes 300,000 to 400,000 contracts traded. And on inventory day, sometimes it can be upwards of 450. I've seen 500. So there's not that much volume today, but that was it's the chart and the indicators gave a great signal right there. So then we came over here and had a big sell zone right here. So that's where we had this business right here. This could have turned into one of Lori's elevators right here, but look at this, the deviation mountain. I have a post in the forum about these deviation mountains and how they can be really helpful. And when you see this kind of a bar form with a long wick, you got the top of the mountain right here and it starts down the other side. You've got the RSI above this red line and it starts to point down, and you've got exceeding volume. It's going down. That's plain as day to me. And over here it went down to the power line, turned right back up again, put in another nice E. This is still working. We'll see where this goes. This mountain hasn't, well, yeah, it has come up above here, but keep in mind the bus driver does not go out in the middle of nowhere and just do stuff. There is almost always going to be something that the bus driver goes to. And right now, the next thing he might go to is to check out the high, the day's high right up here at about 3780-ish. And when you're evaluating this, watch this 30-minute candle, because if this thing comes through here, this has been some resistance right here. See, these three are right together. So once this comes through, and it looks like it might be fixing to do that right now, then it likely will go on up here to the high. Just have to see if you're still in that trade. I would start trailing your stop, and as long as these candles are real flat on top like that. But anyway, if you can sit through it, the MVP down here makes a pretty good, this is a pretty good gauge when there's a lot of distance that it'll keep going, and it's acting like it wants to push on through here. So anyway, this has been my view from my world in Apex land, brought to you by Apex Investing. I'll come back about 2:30 and we'll see what the afternoon has brought. Thanks.